Up next, from our nonfiction cohort, we have H. Conley.
Hi. So this is an essay called, Do I Really Have to Talk About Boobs? Last week, my editors told me, you have to talk about boobs. I know I brought this on myself. I chose to make an audio documentary about inequities in accessing top surgery, a topic where the existence of breasts drives the narrative, motivates the characters, causes pain, elicits attention, and is ultimately defeated by the surgeon's blade. But I really don't want to say boob into a microphone. I've so far gotten away with quotes. I don't have to say the words if my source is the one saying my boobs are too big and they need to go, sheer volume of boobage, or teats yeeted. In the interview tape, I hear myself hesitate. I refer to breast tissue and chest development, and in the moments I force myself to say boobs, it sounds like a halting apology from a guilty child. In Daniel Lavery's essay for Vox about how well worth the money top surgery was, he revels in the vagueness of the top to be surgered. What parts will be affected, doc? The top. This is the level of specificity I'm comfortable with, although I've tried to pretend otherwise. Last spring, I pitched a story to a grad school class about how to know if top surgery is right for you, working title, how to know if you should remove your boobs. My professor pulled up my pitch on the projector, and shame filled my head with steam. I was sure they could all clock their bravado thrown up to hide my fear, my aversion to anatomy. Fred read aloud to the class. Breasts are the most inconvenient appendage of the human body, and bras an instrument of torture. To relieve oneself of the burden of bosoms is perhaps the greatest pleasure in life. If you enjoy being breasted, this isn't for you. But if it's occurred to you that only an uncaring God would foist this excess tissue on an innocent tween and expect you to keep it forever, then you should probably have top surgery. I wrote those words in February 2022, more than half a year after I went under the knife. In the before times, I wouldn't have been able to type those words, let alone speak them aloud. When I came out to my parents, they asked me to go to therapy. Peter had never worked with a trans person before, but he had a lesbian sister, so he got it. He said he thought of they, them pronouns as me being both male and female, containing multitudes. I didn't know how to tell him that to me it means absence, not abundance. I'm a gap in information, and saying the word boob might fill in some of that missing data. He, too, said I had to talk about boobs, trying to understand this aversion that I couldn't explain. It had gotten worse the more I realized I was trans, or maybe I was just allowing myself to feel the discomfort. Trying to talk to him about my feelings, I had to muster all of my strength to push past the W when saying I didn't want to be seen as a woman. But every time I tried to say breast or boob, my tongue's autocorrect activated. I'd hear myself say chest instead. As Lavery wrote, I felt like publicly admitting to having a body, an act so embarrassing I still have not fully recovered. Thank you. Thank you.